for the second. India have won the test match. India have won the series.
They're going to get back for two. India at home. Lords goes wild.
Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the 81 All Out podcast. Today we are thrilled to be joined by internationally renowned photographer Mala Mukerjee, whose work has appeared in publications such as Frontline, Indian Express, Times of India, and also abroad in the BBC Bulletin and the Cricketer magazine. Ms. Mukerjee's work has been featured in more than 100 exhibitions in venues around the world. And here today, we are thrilled to be joined with her to talk about the iconic photograph from the tied test match in Madras in 1986. This was right at the end of the test match when the last ball of the game was bowled. Ms. Mukerjee was there, and her photograph has been the one that we all associate with the result of that test. So welcome to the show, Ms. Mukerjee.
Thank you.
Wonderful. So we are coming up now on the, on another anniversary of the test, and it is a game that we really are fond of. We recorded an episode with Michael Sexton where we spoke to him about his book on the test. And of course, the cover of the book is your famous photo that you took on that day. So can you start with telling us about your memories of that day, where you were sitting, and about going to the stadium and all the tension around you?
Yes, I was lucky enough to be there on the right moment and right day. I was sitting in the VIP enclosure on the top of the screen, as I was a guest of Mr. Chidambaram, president of TNCA, and of course he was the president of BCCI that time. He used to send us 2 guest tickets for every cricket match. My camera has been my constant companion since my school days. I always carry my camera except at a private events and where there is restriction, like no photography. That particular day, there was another reason. My husband's company was sponsoring the main scoreboard and its logo. He requested me to take a photograph of that, which I took.
Yeah, can you tell us a bit about your camera that you had with you, and how the specifications, and also if that was something that you used to use for shooting cricket and other sports photographs?
Yes. Since 1982, I'm using 99% Nikon. And in 82, I bought this Nikon F3. And that time I was using that camera only. I had a lens of 70 to 210 zoom lens. Since that day I was planning to take photograph of cricket, I was carrying one teleconverter and tripod and a shutter cord. Normally, I don't change my lenses actually. So that day I was carrying only that lens and the teleconverter and that camera and the tripod and shutter cord. That's it, nothing else. And I didn't have any other better tele lens. So I used that lens only. I wish I had a better lens, better tele.
And one of the things that you have spoken about in previous interviews is that the film, and how, as the game was getting towards the end, you actually got some help from another photographer for an extra roll or 2.
Because I finished one roll, I think by lunchtime, and or maybe after that. And when I realized that my roll is almost over, and that time actually I started guessing something is going to happen, because we needed, at the end, towards end, we needed only couple of runs, and it was either we were winning or we were losing, or I thought it will be a draw match. Okay. Initially, in the morning, I thought we will win because we played very well. And slowly we started losing our wickets. And then I got scared. I thought we will lose. But when Maninder Singh came, I was very, very worried. Though we needed only 4 runs to win in 6 balls. But Australia wanted only 1 wicket to win. Okay, so I was very, very worried. So I took about 3-4 overs, 3 overs or 2 overs before the last over also. And when I realized I will have problem with my roll of film, then I requested the TV cameraman whom I knew before. So I told him whether he will be able to arrange a film roll because I badly need it. So fortunately, he borrowed a roll from someone. Not that I returned the roll after that. So I used that roll, okay? So apart from the last over, I think last 2 overs, I used that roll for taking photographs.
And you took photos of, I think, the last 3 or 4 overs,
Yes,
every
yes,
ball, right?
Yes, because I was expecting something is going to happen. Not only it was my feeling, the entire ground, everybody was the kind of noise I was getting, okay, and everybody was, of course, we Indians wanted to win, definitely. But at the same time, we were very, very worried to lose also. But I never thought about the tie match, okay, because I never seen any tie test, and I was expecting to win and ready to lose or a draw match.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that, you could see that something was happening and you knew that something is going to happen. And I think
Definitely.
and I think that is also because you had been someone who had watched cricket for a long time.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
had this been your very first cricket match, there is no way you might not have even got the rhythm of the contest.
No, I was brought up in a joint family. So my brother and cousins, they used to go to Maidan to play cricket. I used to go there to watch them. And in Calcutta also, in my school days and college days, I have watched test matches. Even I have watched before this test match in Bombay and in Chennai. So this was not at all my first test match. And I have taken photograph many, many times of cricket because my husband used to play cricket, my son used to play cricket. So cricket was part of our family.
Yeah, and my fascination with this is that, this was such a historic moment in cricket. But the person who took that photograph is actually somebody who was part of the crowd. I mean, of course, you were a photographer, but you were not assigned to be the photographer of that day. But still, you were able to capture it. So it is very fascinating for me, and I find that maybe in various sports this might have never happened. Do you also feel that you were at the right place at the right time?
Of course, of course. As I told you that I was lucky enough to be there on the right moment and with my camera because I miss a lot of opportunities when I don't use my camera any place. So beautiful light, beautiful things are happening and I can't, beautiful frames are there, but my camera is not with me. It has happened many a time. So normally I try to carry my camera all the time, except the places which is public, rather private parties. I don't carry my camera. I don't carry my camera where it's written photography is strictly prohibited. Many a time I had to leave my camera with the security guard. Like nowadays, I cannot take my camera at all to the cricket ground. I go to the Eden Garden for watching test matches, but I am not allowed to take my camera. Though I have taken photographs with my iPad, even when Gavaskar, sorry, not Gavaskar, it was It was the last match of Sachin Tendulkar. He came to play in Kolkata. I have got photographs of that also, but with my iPad.
Ah, okay. Yeah, because now they have security is very high.
Yes. I could have taken permission actually. I think next time I go there, I will definitely arrange for my pass to carry my camera.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I'm sure they will be more than happy. But tell me, can you give me an idea of your view that day? You were near the. You said you were near the pavilion or the members.
Yes. I was in the sitting VIP guest enclosure on the top of the screen, as I was guest of Mr. Chidambaram, president of TNC and president of BCCI. He used to send us 2 guest tickets for every cricket match. So,
And that time you were teaching in Chennai, right? In Madras?
yes, I was teaching photography at Krishnamurti Foundation School that time.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So my question is that, of course, for people who are younger and listening to this podcast, they may not know that back in the day when you took a photo, you could not immediately see the photo. So when you were taking the photo in the roll, were you kind of confident that those were good photos, or were you also a little nervous that whether I have got the right image?
No. I took the photograph of the last ball and I know exactly what I shoot. So I had no doubt about that. Of course, with the film, unless it was a borrowed film loan, unless I develop it, I will not know the quality of the film. But I am sure this film roll came from some photojournalist through this TV camera person, Doordarshan camera person. So I was confident that it will be a good quality film because they were there to use this film load just for this cricket match.
No, no, I'm not talking about the quality of the film. I'm just talking about, when you click the photo,
Yes.
these days, of course, when you click on iPad and phone, you can see the photo immediately. But then when you click the photo, were you also, you might not have known exactly how the photo looks. So that was something you would have had to get used to, right, back then?
No. I was using my shutter code, okay?
Okay.
So I knew exactly when I used that shutter code.
When you clicked it.
When I clicked it with my
Yeah.
shutter code, I
Yeah.
knew what frame I was expecting to get.
Ah, okay, got it.
I think
So
one should know what he or she is taking without looking through the camera. Unless I see without the camera, I cannot take any photograph. That's my problem.
So you were looking at the live action and you were using your shutter.
Of course.
Okay, got it.
Because
got it.
it was the heavy lens, the 70-210 was a heavy lens plus the teleconverter, and of course f3. The weight was, I think, more than 1.5 kilo. And with that kind of light, when I had to keep the shutter not very fast, and the opening was fully open, it was 4 f-stop. So I did not want to shake my camera. That is why it was on my tripod, and I used the shutter cords so that there will be no shake in my camera.
Okay, wonderful. That gives me a good image of how it would have looked. But tell me, one of the things that many players and also Michael Sexton in his book has spoken about is the fading light, and how towards the end of that game, the light was fading very, very quick. So that must have also affected your photography.
Yes, because since the light was fading, I had to keep my aperture fully open, okay? I wish I had a better lens where I could keep the camera opening very small to get a sharper image, which I could not. And plus, those days we used to use film. So it was just a 400 ASA film. So with all these constraints, I did not expect any photograph better than this. But I wish I had a very good lens, tele lens for taking photographs of cricket. Now I have got 70-300 lens. which is better than 210. But 210 with teleconverter, 1.6 teleconverter, it was almost as much as that tele.
So at that time, that would have been a very good lens.
Yes.
Yeah.
For me, definitely.
Yes, of course.
It was Nikkor, original Nikkor lens. And I was extremely happy with that lens.
So when the last ball was bowled and the wicket was taken, when the wicket fell, and when you clicked the photo, did you immediately know that you have got it? You have got the photo?
Yes, I could make out because people were, not only that, I could see it actually. What was happening, I could see it. And I could make out that he was bold, okay?
No, not bold. LBW, you mean?
Sorry, not bold,
Yeah,
LBW. Sorry. Extremely
No problem.
sorry. Yes, he was LBW. Yes. No, I couldn't make out that he was LBW, but when I saw the bowler jumping in the air, okay, so I could not make out that it was LBW. No, I could not. But
I asked because
that he was out. No, I could not.
Exactly.
Yes, I could not make out that he was LBW. No, not at all.
But I think you might have seen the umpire's finger.
Oh, I can't remember that, to tell you frankly.
Okay, no, because I asked because the timing of that photo is so perfect that everybody in that frame has a certain emotion, and you have pressed the shutter cord at almost like the best moment.
Fortunately, because of course, I was trying to capture each and every out, which I even do nowadays. Okay, any good shot or out, I take photograph. But that day also, I tried to take photographs of other outs also. With Gavaskar coming out, I have got that photograph. Somebody else was going towards the pitch. I have got those photographs also.
Have people used those photos? Have they bought those photos?
Yes, actually, what happened, I met Mr. Ram on that day, okay, at the cricket ground. Not cricket ground, at that VIP guest house, okay?
Yeah.
And he was sitting away from me. And later on, probably when he saw me using my camera, he came near me and introduced himself. So he asked me a couple of questions. We exchanged our visiting cards, okay? And I didn't know Mr. Ram. I knew who he was. I knew his brother, whose children used to go to Krishnamurti Foundation School. So he came and introduced himself. And that's how I met him that day. He was, of course, a guest also. But he called me the same evening, okay, after the cricket match. He asked me whether I have taken the photograph of the last ball. I said, yes, of course I have taken the photograph of not only the last ball, last 3 overs, each and every ball. So he said, can I come and collect your film roll? I said, I haven't finished my roll yet. He said, no, in any way I'm coming. So he came to our house and he said, can I take this roll? I will return it after developing it tomorrow, which he did. And then he called me again at night saying that I would like to use this shot for our tomorrow's paper. I said, fine. He said, I will give you credit, okay? And then slowly I started finding that he was using it. Okay, he took permission for the cricketer England after a couple of days to use this photograph. I said, fine. And then slowly I started finding that he was using this photograph, rather Hindu was using this photograph in different places without my permission, not even verbal permission, okay? I saw in 86, in the book fair, they were making they made calendars with these photographs, okay? I started buying each and everything from the market, even the first day newspaper of the Hindu, then Sports Star, Cricketer England. He took permission to use it for the Cricketer England. I had to buy that one also. He never bothered to send me any of these magazines or paper, okay? Then in 87, I found that the 41st edition of Indian Cricket used my photograph and they didn't give any credit. So I went to Hindu office and I talked to Mr. Kasturi without giving my identity. I asked him, you have used this photograph. I didn't find the name of the author of this photograph. He said, no, this is our property. I can use it anytime, anywhere. I don't have to give any acknowledgement anywhere. Then I started writing letters to Mr. Ram. He never bothered to give me any reply. In 1999, I wrote him again not to use it again. Especially I knew that the 2000 they will use it again. And they didn't take permission, they used it again and again. But when I met him in 99, he told me, yes, I have received your mail. But after that, he kept quiet, okay? And I thought, okay, since he has received my mail, he will stop using it. Not only they were using it, lot of journalists were using it for their article anywhere, even on the net, okay? Whenever I asked them, they said, I've got it from Hindu, I have got it from BCCI. But what I did when I found that they are not acknowledging my photograph, the first time I sold my photograph in Chennai, because Reader's Digest sent me a letter that, are you same Mala Mukerjee who took the photograph of the last ball of the tie match? I said, yes. So they said, we don't have much money, we'll give you 1,200 rupees if you allow us to use this photograph. So I did allow them purposely, just to make it a point, the property is mine, not Hindus, not anybody else's. I never sold the right to anyone. Even now, when I sell this photograph, just for one-time publication, but the copyright is always with me.
Yeah, that is very interesting. And also it shows the extent of the problem that we have with the copyright, because this is, one of a kind photo. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the only color photo that has been taken. And, Michael Sexton mentions in his book that there was another photo, but that is a black and white photo and nobody knows, again, who shot that photo. And it is also not that widely circulated, because I have only seen this photo. I have not seen much of the other photo.
Mm-hmm. I think I have seen that black and white photograph in Hindu. And Mr. Ram told me that no one from his paper took the last ball. They went down to take the photograph of the prize giving ceremony. I do have
correct, because they were all prepared for the prize giving. Correct.
Yes. I have got a lot of photographs of prize giving ceremony also, but from the same place. I didn't go down. Definitely not.
And because you didn't go down, you got the best picture of the last ball.
No, I had no plan to go down at all.
Of course, you didn't have to.
No.
But yes, it's interesting how such a moment. It is even more important that people take copyright seriously, because this is a one photo for a moment. It is not like say Sachin Tendulkar's final test, where there would have been many photos. Mm-hmm. But this there is only one photo. So yeah, it is very unfortunate. But I'm hoping that it does not happen too much in the future, and I can only hope.
Yes, copyright remains with the author unless or he or she sells it. It always remains with the author. So because of that, I didn't take any other precaution for these copyright issues. And I met Mr. Ram later on also. I told him number of times. I didn't want to pick up a fight with him, but okay, it's...
So after that, you also continued to photograph cricket matches, right? In other places also?
Of course, plenty. Not only in Chennai, in Bombay, in Bangalore, in Delhi, everywhere.
And all of this was from the crowd, from the stand?
No, sometimes I was on the ground because my husband used to play cricket.
Okay.
So I was in different seats. I had option to move from one point to another point also when it was a private match. But no. Apart from Calcutta and Chennai, I didn't have that kind of seat. No, not at all. Better seat, but not from the pavilion side, no.
Okay. But now in your career, of course, you have done a variety of other kinds of photography. So do people, recognize that you have shot cricket photos also? Or do people know that you are the one who took the tight test photo?
Most of the people never knew, actually, even today. There's a photographer, sports photographer in Kolkata, whom I met after I came back to Kolkata in 2000. So when I told him that since you are a sports photographer, do you know that photograph was taken by me? And he was surprised, okay? So it's all right. Even a lot of people don't think that I am a photographer since I wear sari, okay? I don't look like a photographer, and normally I don't show up my camera either. So many a time it has happened that a lot of people, even at NCPA photographer in Delhi, he asked me that I have seen your work. I know who you are, but I didn't know that you are the photographer, Mala Mukerjee, the photographer. So this happens. Even in my exhibition, people come, and normally I sit or go around with the visitors, and a lot of people ask whoever is sitting on the table, ask them that how did you take that photograph, this photograph. They think that the gentleman who was sitting, basically many a time it was my husband. They asked him, how did you take this photograph? Why did you take this photograph?
Oh
he
my
said,
God.
I'm not the photographer.
That is terrible.
Plus, I take different kind of photographs. I love taking different kinds of photographs. So if you see my website, malafotogallery.com, you will know the kind of work I'm doing nowadays.
Absolutely. I will link that photo gallery. And before, I of course want to read out one passage from Michael Sexton's book. But before that, I have a last question to ask you. When it comes to cricket and photography, how much is luck and how much is skill?
Fortunately, I practiced many years to take photograph, okay? I was teaching photography that time at Krishnamurti Foundation School.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, of course, you need the skill. If you give me a car, okay, and you tell me to drive, and, sports car, I won't be able to drive. I know driving, but I won't be able to drive that car, okay? I must know, first of all, I know my equipment, whether it's a camera or a car. I must know my equipment very well. I must know how to use it wherever I am. So you need skill, definitely. But of course, I was lucky enough to be there on that day and that moment, and I could click that particular.
Yeah, I think without skill, you would not have clicked as good an image. And without luck, you would not have clicked the image. So, or you would have clicked another image, maybe a good image, but you would not have got this angle.
Maybe after or before.
Yeah.
That could have been the possibility.
Yeah, so it is one of those moments and one of those very, very rare moments where both the timing and the skill and the luck and, the match itself and the historic nature of the match, all of it came together. And then you were right at the center of it. And I find that whole thing very, very, very beautiful.
What attracted me more, you asked me whether the umpire, Mr. Raju, was putting his finger up. It was Greg Matthew, okay, who drew my attention very much. And I had no doubt that Maninder Singh was LBW that time, okay. Before that, I did not know. Because there was, Greg Matthew was flying high in the sky, almost like a bird. And so mainly not the umpire, I think Greg Matthew drew my attention.
Yeah, and he was wearing a cap and sweater throughout that day.
Yes, but no, the way he was flying in the air, okay?
Yeah, that correct.
Yes, Jade Marsh was coming towards the camera or towards the pavilion, towards Greg Matthew in a way.
Yes. In fact, I wanted to end with that passage of that Michael Sexton has beautifully written.
Okay.
This is about your photograph. And so I want to read out that whole passage so people get an idea of the magic of that photograph.
Thank you.
So let me start with his quote.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "The beauty of the scene is the spectrum of emotions captured in a single frame. There is no question of V. Vikramraju's decision because his arm is rifle straight, his outstretched finger like a fixed bayonet. Next to him, Ravi Shastri is signaling to his partner to wait, still believing there is one ball to come. Maninder Singh has turned his back and is casually looking towards the square leg umpire, while Tim Zorer is exploding past him with his gloves raised in celebration. Like Zorer, Jeff Marsh is charging down the pitch from his position at square leg. They are racing towards Greg Matthews, who is dancing away with his arms spread like the wings of an aircraft.
Yes.
The other character captured is Alan Border, crouched at Silly Point. He is looking at the umpire in disbelief." And that is the end of the quote. So I think this whole image is what basically he's writing it from your photograph. And it is so wonderful that you have captured it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Mukherjee. This was lovely chatting with you. And we will hopefully at some point of time, we will chat with you again about your other photographs.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
He'll come back for the second. India have won the test match. India have won the series.
They're going to get back for two. India home. Lords goes wild.